Hey guys, so I'm going to attempt to make a quick video here. I'm outside watching the kids at the moment, so if it's a little bit noisy or if I have to stop and correct the kids, I'm sorry about that ahead of time. I haven't made a video in a while, and there's a couple reasons for that. One of them is I actually am training someone right now, and I was going to do before and after photos, but I switched phones, and so we kind of lost the photos. But he's doing really well. I think he's down like 30 pounds or so, and he's down a shirt size at least. So he's doing well, and I'm excited to get him on here sometime, but I don't want to mention any names yet until we've gotten things solid and figured out what we're doing. Another reason is I've been educating myself on other things like relationships and just what it's like dating and being a man in today's society, because it's much different than it was like 10 years ago. Things have changed a lot, and there's a lot going on in politics and society right now. And so I want to make a little video just touching on some of the things I've learned and maybe the different perspectives I've seen that agree on a lot of stuff and contradict each other in a lot of ways. And I think it's important for health, especially men's health, but I mean women's health too, that we have a healthy perspective on life and that we have a healthy perspective on relationships. It's not all about eating and exercising, which those are essential, because if you don't have that, your emotions are all screwed up. You don't have self-confidence. I mean, there's just a lot of things that go into that, and health and diet are definitely a big part of it. But after you get the health and diet down, then you got to start looking at relationships and what does it mean for your life and those sort of things. So I just wanted to touch on being a man, because obviously I can speak from experience there, at least somewhat, and I'm sure that there's a lot of differing opinions out there, so don't get mad at me if your definition of what it means to be a man or what I'm willing to share right now doesn't agree with what you think. I've made a few posts about it, and you guys can look those up on my personal page. I haven't put them on the Divine Health Program page, but I mean, it's hard to find good quality men out there, and there's not a lot of payoff for being an honest man, a chivalrous man, or however you want to say it, a good quality man. And the opinions differ a lot. It used to be pretty clear cut that there was a standard for how a man conducts himself in public, how he conducts himself in business, and there was a lot of crossover there in relationships. And now we have MGTOW and Red Pill, and there's a lot of choosing sides. And what I would encourage you to do is educate yourself. A lot of these people have good things to say, and a lot of them are doom and gloom. And I don't blame them for being discouraged or disheartened. But one of my things is, and part of who I am, is I'm a Christian. And I don't think you can, as a Christian man, or a Christian woman for that matter, you can't just check out. Because when you do that, you're acting in fear. And not always. I mean, there's perspectives of there are some people that are just happy to be single. And, that's okay. And it says in Scripture that if you can be complete on your own, that's what you should do. But it also says a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. And it says 1 can defeat 1,000 and 2 can defeat 10,000. So if you want to maximize your potential, the thing to do is to partner up. If you want to make a big difference in the world, and you want to make things better, which should be your goal. I would assume for any good person, not just a Christian, but a Christian especially, your goal should be to make the world a better place. And partnering up is definitely an efficient way to do that. It's not easy, and if you partner up and things don't work, it can diminish your effectiveness in life. So there's a risk there, and the risk is kind of what makes it worth it, because it means a lot to someone else when you're willing to take a risk on them, and it should mean the same to you if someone takes a risk on you, because you've shown that there are qualities about you that somebody likes. Oh, loud kids. All right, quiet down, guys. Oh, he took something? Okay. Give it back. Give it back. Give it back. All right. Say please, Ian. And say thank you. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so where were we? Men. Partnering up. Yeah, there's a risk. And I think it's a risk worth taking. And I think as a Christian, we take risks all the time. It's part of what it means to be in faith. You believe for the best, and you put yourself in a position where that risk is mitigated, but you can't get rid of the risk in life. It doesn't just go away. It's part of life, and it is scary. And when you've been hurt and you know what it feels like when the risk doesn't pay off, it's hard to take that risk again. But if you're going to be in faith, there comes a point where you have to try again. That doesn't mean you don't learn. It doesn't mean you just take as many risks as you possibly can, and don't take. You want to take calculated risks, right? So, but in the end, you have to take that risk, and relationships are risk. And even getting on a diet or getting healthy, that's a risk too. Because a lot of times people fail and they go back to their old lifestyles and they end up gaining more weight than what they had before. People enter into relationships, and instead of just being a little bit hurt, especially if you're a divorcee like me, recovering from that second divorce is not going to be fun if I have to go through that. And you know what? I'm believing God that that's not going to happen, that I'm going to find the right person this time. I have opened myself up to dating. I'm not dating anyone right now. I'm still single. But I am building relationships, and talking to at least one really nice person right now. I'm not going to tell you who she is because we're just friends. But it goes to show that when you take an interest in something and the desire is really in your heart, doors start to open up. And that's what's important, is that those opportunities are there. And even if it's just one, you have to stay in faith. You have to be encouraged. You have to keep moving forward. You can't just give up. A lot of these MGTOW guys are checked out, and they're single, and they're staying single. No touching. And they're staying single not because they're happy single. They're staying single because of women's bad behavior, because we have a toxic culture. I get it, guys. It is hard, and it is scary, and there's a lot of nasty people out there that will tell you anything to take advantage of you, to get what they want. And you do have to look out for that, and you have to be careful and take your time and do things right. But I think if you read your scripture and you do things the way you're supposed to, you're going to have more success than failure. And the loss that you suffer, even if things don't work out for one reason or another, the loss you suffer on the calculated risks you take, it's going to be way worth it's going to be way worth it, because in the end you will find someone if you keep trying. But if you give up, I mean, you can't work with that. You can't steer a parked car. So to you guys who are looking for relationships, hang in there and do things right, and don't put yourself in unnecessary risk. But when the time comes, take that leap and see where it goes, and let God guide you, and don't just depend on your own common sense, your own desires, and cleverness, I guess you could say, to get you through, because it's only going to get you so far. In the end, you have to take that chance. And be careful, okay. Sorry guys, this video's going a bit long because the kids are out here. What? Oh, you're fine, you're all right, you're okay, you caught yourself, you're okay. Be more careful, okay? Okay? Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys kind of encouragement, kind of a wake-up call. Don't check out. Now, if there's a woman who's exhibiting bad behavior, and you were interested at one point, and then she starts acting strange, or she's trying to manipulate you, and you find out, or you start catching on, yeah, don't reward that behavior. Treat everybody as individuals. And yeah, there are a lot of misbehaving people out there that are going to try to take advantage of your good nature, and that's, it's just part of it. And if you're a treasure, you'll be treasured, right? If you're a good person, and you're doing things right, and people know you're genuine, people are going to value that. And so there are going to be, the first people who are going to come after you are going to be people who want to selfishly profit on that. So just be aware of that, and don't fall into the trap of just jumping for the first opportunity that leaps your way, because you can end up in a really bad situation. Be smart about it. Take your time, get to know people, and don't hurt people. And I think the biggest thing I've learned since I started kind of researching what it means to date as a Christian in modern times, and what it means to be single and a bachelor, I think the biggest thing I've learned is, when you enter a relationship with somebody, whether it's just friends or whether it's a dating relationship, you need to do your very best to leave them the same or better than when you met. So if your guys' relationship has to take a step back, if you go into a dating relationship and you have to step back to friends, or if you're friends thinking about a dating relationship and things just aren't working out, don't be malicious towards that person, and don't give them more of yourself, so that they're going to be left empty when you leave, or when you can't give that. Because when you give the kind of affection that's normal today, even sometimes in friendship, when that affection is removed, it's very painful, and especially for people who've been hurt real bad, who've been taken advantage of, and they're trying to trust again, and they put that trust in you even after they've been hurt, and they know there's a chance that things can't work out, and they're going to end up in a bad spot again. Don't do that to people. We, as just a good person, you need to show people that that people like you exist, that there are good people out there, and that you can make relationships and build webs and meet people through people that were interested in you, and give people a hand up instead of stab them in the back, or be stabbed in the back. Leave that opportunity to be stabbed in the back, and just make things worse for everyone. And I think we've gotten into a cycle. Don't touch, Ian. Don't touch. We've gotten into a cycle of degradation in our culture that it's extremely painful when you take a chance on someone and things don't work out. And sometimes you can't avoid that, but Most of the time, it should not be that way. We should be kind to each other, and we're all adults, and jumping into things we're not ready for and not being responsible with our emotions and our affections is not excusable. And that's a big part of being a man or even being a woman. Now, if you want to get specific on what it means to be a man, I've been watching some Jordan Peterson lately, and various preachers and stuff, and just soaking it in as much as I can. And it's not like I didn't know what it meant to be a man. I mean, every man, any grown man, kind of knows what it takes. And if you don't, you should learn. Okay, it's important. But being a man means, despite the culture, you're going to make choices that better your environment, that make you you're going to take responsibility for what happens to your family, what happens to you, and you're going to, as a man, make the best personal decisions you can to make everyone's lives around you better. And you're going to fight the chaos, I guess, if we want to get Jordan Peterson, we're going to fight the chaos off that attacks our lives and tries to disturb that balance. And we're not going to be tyrants. Okay, men are warriors. We're fighters. And you may not be fighting people, okay? Sometimes you're fighting challenges or just tragedies in your family, horrible things that happen. Over the last couple of years, we've lost some people in our family, and it was very difficult. And one of them was my older brother, and he lost a member of his family, and he is a literal warrior, and he's a soldier, he's a Navy SEAL, and he had to come home to face a different kind of challenge, and that's a difficult thing, and he had to get himself together and rally his family together and move forward. And from what it sounds like, I mean, I don't want to speak for him because that's his experience. He should talk about that. But from what I've seen, he's doing very well. And he's handled it extremely well. And I'm proud to call him my brother. Thanks, Jim. If you're watching this, thanks for being my brother. Appreciate you, bro. And so anyway, that's what it means to be a man. You have to deal with those things, and you have to be there for your family, even though you're hurting. And there's a lot of things going on in your life. You have to be that warrior. You have to be that solid rock, and you have to fight back the tragedies, whether it's a person, an event, or an illness, or whatever it is. You got to be strong, which means you always have to be readying yourself for battle. And I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of women who do that too, but to me, that's in essence what it means to me to be a man. And so that's why the health coaching really interests me. I want to be physically strong. I want to be physically fit. I want to give myself the best chance to be as healthy as I possibly can through my entire life and live a long and productive life. And I want to be that emotional center for the people I care about and the people I love. And so I hope you do too. And I hope that maybe helps some of you to move forward and maybe give you an avenue to move forward in being a man and being just being a good person, but being a man too. And in your relationships, don't give up. Keep it coming and keep trying. And having done all to stand, keep standing. All right. Well, that's my video for today. And sorry I haven't been around too much. I always say that I'm going to make more videos, but you know what? We'll just, I'm a busy guy, and I got a few businesses going and a lot of stuff going on in my life. So I'll make them as I can. I hope this was helpful. And you guys stay strong. If you need my help for anything, whether it's daycare or health coaching, or I'm making food now too. I have jerky, I have low carb rolls, and I also sell roasted nuts. So if you guys are in the area, in the Garden City area, and you guys want some of that stuff, hit me up. I'll give you my number, as I always do, 620-640-5138. And hope to see you guys around. And yeah, we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.